I had gone before I asked because that was funny, but that's okay. I wasn't entirely sure what kind of response I was going to get, to be fair. So
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
Could have been.
inappropriate is usually the response you get. So it's
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's always safe not to hit the record button before we actually start recording most of the time. But
More than likely,
every once in a while, you miss a gem. So
Well, I heard somewhere that YouTube scans for swears within the first couple minutes of videos, and it affects the ranking somehow if they're there. So I'm gonna try
yeah,
not to be such a
yeah,
potty mouth.
that's what's gonna affect our ranking for sure.
Yeah, no,
Hmm.
no, it's just a little tidbit. I don't think it's actually gonna affect how we do as a channel. We're a little bit too niche, but
Hey, Justin, what up?
Wait, I have beer
hey,
around here somewhere. I know I do.
well, you better. I mean, that's kind of silly not having beer.
I'm still sipping on a Red Bull.
I see what you're saying. I see. I'm just gonna reach my hand in here and hope for the best. That's...
Title.
Yeah, I almost got him. I almost got him. Oh, don't you hate it when you grab the wrong thing too? It's
Yes.
I mean, I just wanted some pink, right? Like it's
Yeah.
so.
Oh.
They call me Mr. Pink. Apparently Justin fell off
Mr.
his
Jones.
and tried to shoulder check a glass door on the way down today. So, did you break the glass door?
Well, he said he tried to shoulder check it.
Yeah. I'm asking. The follow-up question is how many stitches?
The judges gave it to the glass door 10-9. It was a 10-9 round.
10-8.
It was a 10-8. It was a beating.
A 10-8 means stitches for sure, right?
Why not? Sure thing.
Whatever you say, Paul.
Just how do I reach through the camera? Just pat you gently on the head
Hey, man.
and not get my arm lopped off by the Trailmaster I know you have within arm's reach.
Conveniently.
There it is.
If you're not careful, it'll lop off his own arm too. So there's always that. Yeah.
If you've watched DBK recently, that whole scissor action on a piece of wood you're trying to split, dangerous.
Yeah. If you're not careful, safety first and all of that.
Yeah. Safety third, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a good time. Matt Blackross, thanks for joining us.
Just call out the door to him.
If there's a couple doors away, it's fine.
Fair.
So if you can't tell, we're talking about the Bugout, brand new aluminum, so on and so forth. They just released. Benchmade got all fancy with the damn thing.
Yeah,
so.
They sure did. And before people ask, in case you're wondering, this isn't color corrected. That is the actual color of the aluminum.
Are we jumping right in with not talking about what we're carrying this week?
Oh no, just Joe.
No,
I was just there was up on the screen. So usually it's knife news for no reason whatsoever, and we actually had a picture this time. So yeah. I figured.
No, I'm just commenting on the picture that's there. I figured we'd give it a few more moments before we start going into what we're carrying.
Thanks for hitting the brakes, Paul. I knew that was going to landslide on us if we were careful. So it's
only a third of a year late. Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely be talking about that, I'm sure, at some point tonight.
Actually, I was just going to talk about something else once we finish talking about this picture. And
all right, talk about something else then.
Like what we're carrying?
Oh, that. You made it sound like it was something important. Like, Jesus. Speaking of, what are the guys carrying tonight as well? Ask them as people are trickling in. We'll probably ask it a couple times because, yeah.
Mr. Frost.
And what are you drinking if you're drinking? I know Dennis is having pink. Getting into some Midnight Prairie.
I went through a phase of liking that, but every time I've tried it lately, I'm just like, oh, I can't do it. Oh, the Waterloos. Yeah. Where are you finding those lately?
This is one I have had in the house for a couple weeks.
I see.
But it's grapefruit. It's not pineapple.
Convenient.
Yeah.
Well, that was the point of keeping it around. Yes.
Someone else go first.
Fine. I'll go first. Native 5 with the S90 and the fluted carbon fiber because it's awesome.
That's the fruited Kruben Fruber, by the way.
Kruben
All the fruiting.
Fruber, which it does not turning up well on the webcam here, but I got a picture
okay.
where it also doesn't show up all that nicely, but that's okay.
You're not putting the picture of your fancy knife up on screen.
Oh, no. I am now. I clicked earlier, but
Okay.
I guess not hard enough because it didn't switch. But there it is now. You can kind of see the fluting near the screw holes here, but
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, it's a little. Yeah, I can't say enough nice things about this knife. It's fantastic. I need to carry it more often.
Most definitely. Sorry, I keep trying to cut you off.
It's all good.
Asshole.
Or vice versa. You two, fight.
No. It's his knife that he's trying to talk about. I'm cutting him off for sure. It's a more subtle machining than like the Drunken. The Drunken you can really notice as soon as you start moving it around, you see that kind of squiggle pattern going on. Whereas,
or even tonight's knife, the machining on it is super crisp by comparison.
Yes.
Yeah. Dick Richards, glad you could join us. Justin apparently had the M4 Freak with him. But the question is did you cut the door with it? Did you get in a fight with the door? Did it cut anything yet? That's my question. It's been a couple weeks.
It's completely dull, but
you pulled it out at the door today and you're like, not today, knife.
And then he immediately shoulder checked it instead.
Exactly.
Excellent.
I was going to say he fell into the door with the blade open and just flattened the tip.
So he did say he smashed into said door. So with that language, maybe he did break the door? Uh-oh.
Only time will tell. It's a riveting side story to this week's live stream.
We got to know.
He's tickling that slowly for us.
We're on a quest for truth. What about you, Paul? What are you carrying?
I am rocking the Spartaco Swayback.
Yes.
I don't know why I opened it in that direction, but I did.
Yeah. It's
I've been missing some XHP out of my life recently, and this one consoles me.
It's a good one to Spidey flick, you know.
The reverse Spidey flick.
Don't like that. It's just gonna be honest here.
I really am liking the old reach around Spidey flick for the Swayback a little bit. Yeah.
The old reach around.
The best part is you all know what I'm talking about when I say that. So it's
I just did it. It worked.
Yeah.
Nice. I hate it.
I don't know if I trust myself to do that with a native. This feels like small enough of a knife that as I attempt to do it, I'm just gonna end up stabbing myself in the palm. So.
Well, a lockback is not the right choice, my friend. It's
No.
Your military, on the other hand.
Yeah, I was gonna. Oh no, the D10 is way too stiff on this one. Oh.
I'm gonna be honest. I was really lazy with this picture. This is a picture that I took like.
Oh no! But what you need to do on this is you need to go monochrome and add like white. Just make it a black and white picture and crisp up this, and that would actually be a really good shot for Instagram. It's just turning that one into a black and white.
I'll just put it. I'll repost it as a black and white.
Do it.
I'm just saying. That one's got potential.
A diamond in the rough, if you say.
Fucking condescending motherfucker.
I saw your Trailmaster picture last week. No, it was actually a really nice picture.
How many minutes is that algorithm before I'm allowed to swear?
Oh, I don't know, but we're almost at 10 minutes, so let's just say 10 minutes. So one more minute. One more minute.
Well, I've already sworn, so.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, we already broke that wall, but
that's bad when I don't even register swears as swears anymore.
It was
just
pretty much because I was, talking down to someone at this point.
Isn't it usually the way it goes? But oh, Paul.
What are you carrying, Dennis?
I got an oldie but a goodie. I got, the OG access lock, the good old McHenry.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's a nice knife.
So, And now that you've already admitted that you took this picture like 6 months ago, yeah, I took this picture a long time ago. It was just a really pretty. You'll notice the deep carry option compared to pre-deep carry option.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty picture, and I never posted it, so it deserves to get some attention.
Oh, dude, with the blue, creating that harsh profile. Yeah, that's nice.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm into it.
I mean, I can condescend on myself as well. That's part of the fun.
Is that what that is? All right.
That's not bad. If I made it a black and white picture, it'd be really good looking. Yeah.
I mean, it would. Any photo you take, if you put it in black and white, it's almost always better. I fucking
except for beer. Beer does not look good in a black and white photo.
Food doesn't look particularly appetizing in black and white. Wonder why that is.
Yeah. Anyway.
Only British food.
Oh, right.
Well, apparently Mr. Frost is carrying his 308, and Nick Richards is carrying his Alley Cats, both the large and the small, just for us.
Nice.
Yep.
I don't know if I recall what that looks like. To Google.
To Google.
So, Bugout, you say?
Yeah, just gonna throw up a picture quick of the Alley Cats here. Cat's Knives is one of those brands I don't hear talked about all that much. Oh, hello.
Oh, look at you, daggery sons of bitches go.
Oh, I was more kind of drooling over that $1,000 model with the.
Although, yeah, the Damascus laminated. Yeah,
Third one
okay.
down, second one down. I'm into it.
You know what? Any one of those.
I want the $1,500 one.
I take it back. The original angle that is on the top page makes it look much more like straight daggery than this. I actually don't mind this thing either. That's a good looking knife, Dick.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was unexpected, but welcome surprise.
Cool.
Yeah.
They had their glory. Like they were kind of in the when Japan had like a lot of good high-end makers, early 2000s, late 90s, in that era. But the XT80 and I think it's the XT90 or whatever it's a VG10ish, it's an Oz 8ish, it's nothing blow you away there, but like Almar's still using Oz 8 and charging a little more than they should. Their fit and finish is really nice. So meh.
You need to add a C to the end of that. Meh, see?
Yeah. I have an Almar. I'm not allowed to talk. It's Oz 8, and I paid too much money for it. But it's a pretty knife, right?
It's a nice.
It's a good looking knife.
Is that the Eagle Ultralight?
It's not an ultralight version. I'm not 100% sure what this. It's somewhere, but it's not a heavy duty either. There was
but it is
weird ones.
It is an Eagle, though.
Yes, it is an Eagle of some variety, but yeah, the brass liners rather than the straight micarta, and it's not quite a heavy duty because there's something else different on it. I can't remember. I did some homework a long time ago when I first got it. But
I think Almar's trying to do a bit of a comeback lately with some Chinese-made stuff. I can't really speak to fit and finish these days, but the older stuff. It's pretty nice. If you
were thinking about getting one of the new ones, and then I just didn't do my job as your boss and order the knives for you that you wanted. So there's that. Yeah. So
that's all right.
See, self-deprecating as well. I don't leave anyone out when it comes to slanging.
You're saving me from myself. Although I'm probably going to be wasting money in other ways in the near future, so that's okay.
Yeah.
I got a very, very quick question for both of you, and for the audience mostly. Y'all ever sneeze so hard you crack your own back?
Yes.
I'm sure I've cracked other things, like neck has popped or something. Yeah. Sinuses, optical nerves. It's something. Yeah.
Optical nerve, eyeball just hangs out.
Just. Oh,
I'm glad we're past that 10-minute mark. We dropped a bomb on with Joe there as well. So
yeah.
Anyway, Bugout, you say?
Yeah, Bugout. So I may have been hasty when I said that the S90V carbon fiber version may have been the nicest iteration. I I really
You
dig
thought
these
it,
handles.
you thought about it, and it's really the JG10 one that you really have to settle on being the nicest one ever. Is that what your final
Actually,
answer was?
with the 20 CV and the blue butterfly behind it, yeah, that might be the nicest. No, Paul, that one sucks. Get it? I can't even say that with a straight face.
Did Blade
Not
HQ made a JG10 one with
with
M4?
M4.
Did they ever get that done?
I
Did they
think
do that? I know they did a 940, but
I don't know if they actually came out with it or not. I'm
I
pretty
don't know.
sure it was announced.
Audience comments, whatever. We might look it up. We might not. We'll find out what happens.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on, but there's a high-pitched squeal in my apartment all of a sudden.
Does a guy have this weird phone in his pocket that you don't? Oh, sorry.
Oh, I think I just had like the world's worst tinnitus out. Like that was awful. I couldn't hear anything out of this ear for a second. Sorry, guys.
Good times. Okay, glad you're still with us. It's not a stroke.
No. You don't smell toast. You're all good.
Nope, no toast.
Okay.
All right, all right.
Both sides of my face are still working. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
So some specs on this little son of a bitch. Let's just throw it out there right off the bat. It's a Bugout. That's what the specs are. It's a goddamn Bugout.
Yeah. I don't know how many reviews you guys have to watch about Bugouts at this point, but you know what? Here's the Benchmade website. If you want to pause and go through, you can. There's the specs. They're the same as a full Bugout.
Not as heavy as a copper. Slightly lighter than an aluminum Osborne. There you go.
Yeah, 2.5 ounces apparently.
And I looked up the 940 just because I was curious, and it's 2.9 for the aluminum. I think this thing matches the carbon fiber one.
Right.
So for weight 2.44 for the carbon fiber Osborne. So as far as a weight reference goes, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah. That's pretty light.
It's
and
aluminum handle.
Go ahead, Joe.
I was just gonna say there's something about aluminum handles and a fine grained steel. For whatever reason, that combination always really speaks to me. So like the Metamorph, the 14C and aluminum handles, I very much would like that knife at some point. The original Crossbones, the real steel Griffin. There's
what I was going to comment quick on was just the aluminum handle. Now, I didn't actually inspect up close, but it did have quite a bit of milling on the inside, just to speak on the weight itself, right?
Yeah. For sure.
For the liners, on the inside of the knife, I think it was. I don't know if I actually got any close-ups to the inside. I thought it was just flat, except for the liners.
No, I'm not 100% sure either. I didn't get a close enough look at it, even though the one that you're taking a picture of is actually mine, and I'm going to be going home with it.
Yeah.
If it's anything like this guy, there is a definite groove all the way down the center and flats on either side.
Yeah, I don't think it's a crazy milling, but I think there is like at least one or two, and you might be able to see it on Benchmade's picture when they're showing off the barrel spacers on their website. You can kind of see some stuff going on.
Kind of see some stuff going on.
Yeah, if there's something there, it is slight, but
anyway.
Yeah, either way, this is already a very lightweight knife.
They did good for an aluminum upgrade as far as the weight goes.
Yeah. An aluminum knife with a 3.5-inch blade that's an impressive feat to get it that light.
No, part of that, I mean, they've already figured that out with the bailouts, and I don't know what the weight of the aluminum handled bailout is, but I imagine they're starting to understand how to keep the weight within a lightweight version that's still more than a Spyderco PM3 lightweight type of thing. Like
I was originally really excited about the fact that my Angst came in at the same weight as a Bugout, and then I got my Angst, and the blade is substantially less steel than in a Bugout for the same weight. It's much more impressive to get that kind of package and that light.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a para 3 lightweight with plastic handles is 2.4 ounces. So again, in pretty
wide blade though. That's
a lot of it is the meat behind the edge, but then steel liners underneath, and I think they're reinforcing them more. So I mean, but when you're handling it, you're feeling one knife that has an FRN plastic handle, and you're having another knife that has an exterior with an aluminum handle. It's going to feel very, very different. So
Yeah.
I'm just kind of giving props to Benchmade on being able to pull that off and not have their knife feel like a plastic reptilian like it used to. So
Yeah.
100%.
Before we go too much further away from the handle, just want to touch again on the color difference. Because
damn Skippy.
There's a big color difference. If you look at the original photo on Benchmade's website here, yeah, the red doesn't look quite as deep as it does in real life. Maybe, and Paul was saying maybe they had like some splash lighting that was just color. The tone had been shifted up, I guess.
Well, and you can see that there's some splash lighting on the milling. It's pretty washed out.
But even as far as like the color, like the color just seems not there at all.
So the red is in real life, the red is the same red as you get on a Super Freak.
Yeah.
It's the same red accents for sure. So even though they had the picture that did kind of look doctored and washed, the red, like, kind of knew it was coming just because of the mini Super Freak and the Super Freak and all the red accents that we've seen so far. But yes, the gray on the handle in particular was the part where it was like, oh, damn, that's not gray, that's blue.
Now, don't get me wrong. I prefer this to the just straight aluminum look it had before.
So shut your face. Shut your face.
I think it gives it a little bit more character. It speaks to more of a choice to do something with the material rather than just leaving it bare.
So y'all know me as far as what I like and what I don't like.
Yeah.
And the gray was something fantastic that needed to happen.
It is still gray.
It's still kind of gray.
Kinda.
Maybe I'll get someone to stonewash it for me.
I was actually
going
to say it wouldn't be a terribly difficult to do that. The only thing I would be concerned about is knocking down the corners on that milling, because the anodizing was the.
Oh, I was just gonna say, oh no.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh no! What shall ever I do? Type of, and that's the thing. You can time how much stonewashing, like put it in for 20 seconds, 15 seconds, and see what happens. And do spurts of.
This would look kind of nice if it had like the rubbed raw aluminum.
Just a hint.
But then in the inside of the fluting, it was left with that blue. I think that would look really cool. Like, I think that would look very, very cool.
We'll talk after I actually physically own the knife.
Tumble this thing.
It's
Yeah.
I think this would be a good tumbled as well.
Now, I was going to bring up something on the color of the handle as well. And yes, I don't necessarily hate it. I just, when you talk to me about gray handles, it just gets my blood boiling, right? So it's, But something I'll dabble on that people may have forgotten about was the original emissary. I should have taken a picture of this because this is actually one of the big points that I was going to make with this goddamn knife. Was the original emissary was a gray handled knife. Now, when they introduced the large emissary, all of a sudden everything changed from a gray handle to a black handle. And the reason, supposedly, was that Benchmade had a hell of a time actually making handles proper gray color. They were too inconsistent with the gray, and they couldn't get the proper emissary to be consistently that same gray color, so they switched to black because black was much more of a consistent way to do the handle. Leads me to believe that this aluminum Bugout might have a slightly darker gray because it leads itself to being more consistent.
Would somebody argue that that might be part of the reason why it took them as long as it did to get to market? Potentially. And I hadn't thought about that. I had only thought about the color tone when I saw it in real life. It made me wonder about that. Only because I have one of the emissaries and I kind of know some background story on why you can't get the gray ones. Because, I like that knife. But
I did find some pictures here. I don't know how true they are to color, but
yeah, pretty damn close to what I have, for sure.
Yeah.
But yes, reading some of the things on forums and whatnot, apparently that was one of the reasonings why they switched to black. So being a slightly darker colored aluminum that's not quite the gray that they portray in these photos might be a more consistent way to do it. Or you might see a situation like the bailouts where my green on my bailout looks nothing like the next batches of greens on the next batches of bailouts.
Could
The
be.
thing though with the bailout,
And I don't have a clone, by the way. It was like 100% no for a fact. Yeah.
Alibaba Express, which
My M4 performs like M4 and Benchmade's M4. None of this cheapy M4 that's
That
out
is
there.
cheapy Kershaw M4 you're talking about.
so the weird thing
It's
about
just softer. They probably paid the same amount.
See, but Kershaw knows how to anodize correctly, so who's
Anyway.
really the winner
Yeah.
here? The guy with the Benchmade.
Yeah, shots fired. The guy who owns both of them because they're both great.
Yep. Sorry,
Yeah.
Paul. Over you.
no worries. What was I going to say?
Oh no, sorry.
Gray handles, emissaries, black handles, slightly darker. One version of bailouts compared to another version of bailouts. The next batch of bugouts being slightly lighter.
So the thing
There you go. We got them back.
The thing that was weird about the bailouts was that mine and yours came from the same batch, or at least from the same time period. They were both from
Yes.
September,
We both received ours at the same time. Yes.
and they are definitely a different color. And even like our boxes had a similar date on them.
Production stamp and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for the process of anodizing aluminum, at least the one I'm familiar with, you use actual inks.
Dye, yeah.
Yeah. So if that's the case, I have to wonder about what the process for them looks like behind the scenes when it comes to anodizing all those different colors.
If that's the case, is there color mixing involved? And if that color mixing is involved, being a man who's mixed some paints for cars somewhere along the way in his careers, yeah, there can be some inconsistencies.
There's, yeah. Well, even thinking about the 940s over the years, you know, like I've seen different shades of green coming directly from Benchmade. It's not uncommon.
Some almost towards the bluey and some almost more towards the orange brown tint type of, like it's the other ends of the spectrum type of, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
This is completely off topic, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to take this apart and stonewash it tomorrow.
Yeah. You should post process pictures.
Yeah, put it in your story. Put it in Pokey Factor's story. Maybe that's some good publicity. Look at us go.
I'm going to cross-platform it and put it from one into the other.
Do it.
And then you can create the alternate Instagram page for yours, which is, the
Paul's stonewashed handles.
Yeah.
Why not? Just the handles, though.
Where's Mr. Fisk when you need him?
He'd already have that account created for us, like, seriously.
Yep.
So how do you guys like the contouring on this knife we're supposed to be reviewing as compared to the other versions of the Bugout? Because I actually quite like it.
Yeah, damn Skippy. There was no doubt in my mind when it came in. As soon as I played with it, I was like, oh, damn it. Now I have to decide what knife I don't want in my collection or in my EDC tray anymore. Yeah. It still hasn't been 100% decided. I got to be honest with you. It's a struggle right now.
I believe it.
I can't decide which of the new Bugouts I want more, this or the carbon fiber and S90.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Now that we're already talking about the S90 version and the M390, and Infinite Gunworks is already in here. So Justin, next week, him and I are going to be doing a blade swap-a-rooney. And not only is that M390 Bugout coming home with me, then Justin is going to get the black blade with the M390, and I'm putting up the satin blade with the S90. And we're going to swap some thumb studs to keep everything kosher. And then we'll have some pictures. Maybe we'll put that up on our story. We won't. Put
it up in your story and I will.
Yeah, there you go.
So and I'm totally down on that. So we're gonna have, and then there's some talk about swapping some liners, which I think I'm on board for. I think at
that point you just swap the handles and then the blades. No, the handles and the thumb studs. and the backspacers and be done with it.
But he wants to keep the aluminum.
I don't think the backspacers can work properly because of.
Are there? Do they? Well, I haven't taken apart these knives, but are there like shoulders milled
That's what
into
I'm
them?
saying. Instead of like Benchmade knives are easier to swap handles on if you don't take them apart completely. You take one side off, you take a handle off, you put it back on. You take the
Oh,
handle
I
off,
see
put
what
it
you're
back.
saying. Yeah,
And then you
yeah.
take the spacers out, you swap those over from one to the other as well.
It'll be a whole thing. It's fine. It's fine. We'll work it out.
That's
I may or may not have taken a knife apart once or twice
It'll
that's
be
fair.
during this stream, even sometimes.
Yeah.
But anyway,
safe to say it's going to be an unmitigated disaster, but that's okay.
it's fine. We'll put it up in our story.
So this. So, ergonomically, I like this knife more than the others, I think.
And anything else I've handled. Then even the Flytanium stuff that's aftermarket, this is by far the nicest Bugout I've handled. The Gold Class 3D carbon fibery is a close second, which, I mean, again, the Dash 3 is a close simile, but the Gold Class had more rounding than the Dash 3 does.
Well, hey, Paul, hold that up again. Show me the lanyard tube.
You're a lanyard tube.
Okay, so you see that there. That is a hole milled into the handles versus on the carbon fiber version with the S90, that's got the spacer. That do I have anything that's similar to that on my table? No, I don't.
It's the only thing I don't like about that. The S90 carbon fiber one is that backspacer. I prefer it just to look like this.
So I
would have liked some unanimity. Yeah, one of those words.
Having the S90V version be the only one that stands out in this way is a little bit weird for me. A little bit strange.
I think it would be super cool, especially for the guys who are like the guys with the collections and stuff, and just being able to mix and match between whether it's plastic, whether it's titanium, put in an S30 on, blah, blah, blah type of, I mean, I like the fact that they set it apart a little bit and made the S90 with the carbon fiber kind of like elite, like the Osborne is, and they put them with the Super Freaks and the Nakamuras and the everything with that, right?
Yeah.
But it killed some of the fun, I guess, with the collectability of the Bugout, right?
I can kind of...
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I can kind of understand why they did it the way they did, why they had an aluminum backspacer for the carbon fiber handled version. Because carbon fiber, when you make it that thin, sure, there is a higher chance of failure if something does tug on that lanyard relatively hard in a position where the knife isn't able to otherwise move. Sure, I can see that maybe you would more easily break the carbon fiber due to a void over a solid aluminum thing that's just been milled. So I get it, but I kind of wish they had just done like a full backspacer and not milled away the handle. I wish they would have kept the carbon fiber on top.
So I think I know why they did it, and it's a financial decision. Purely financial decision.
Okay.
In their builder, you can get S90 and carbon fiber as an option, and it comes like that. So how do you make a production knife that looks exactly the same? You're going to kill the sales of one or the other.
But the Gold Class only was for 1 year, and the customizer for the Bugout.
He means...
No, I'm not saying a Gold Class. I'm saying the carbon fiber, the customizer, you can get carbon fiber with a regular lanyard tube in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anything that they made in carbon fiber, they were going to have to distinguish in a way to separate it from the carbon fiber you can get in the customizer.
Other than making it overpriced in the customizer, so why would you? And I haven't looked at the price point. If it's $50 more than just buying it as a standard model.
But if it's that much more expensive, if you want it that way, you're paying for it.
Yeah, that's fair. Potentially. Who knows?
I mean, I'm not hating on Benchmade, but Benchmade is known to tax you a little bit here and there.
Well, it's relatively intelligent marketing, I guess, but I think I side with Dennis on that. It is kind of sad that they killed the fun and the swappability here, but
for sure, I agree. They should have made the customizer the odd one out, maybe.
Are we going to talk about the fact that they just through M390 instead of 20CV on here, and especially in a
Yeah.
market where it's hard to transfer things across borders right now, they went with an out of US decision.
Another reason why they might be a third of a year late.
So how
And
long
are we going to see them be 20 CV into next year when they announce 2022 with a steel change?
did I get a reverse here? Yes, I
Is
did.
it weird that I would prefer it in M390?
No, it's okay.
No,
So
no, M390 is good with a polish, but I'm gonna take S90 to some extremes with this goddamn bug out.
No, I just mean M390 over 20 CV.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't know if I do.
I just don't have any M390 in my collection. So I'm like,
I see.
For all the M390 I've played with, and 20 CV, there's really not much of a difference when I'm accounting for like geometry. Because I think
that's the problem is most of the blades that I have in 20 CV that outperform just have better geometry than some of my M390 knives. Yeah.
M390, 20 CV. There's a difference in cutting performance, to be sure.
That's
not really. They were both made by ZT. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's a 1/4 inch thick, right behind the edge on my 707. Yeah.
And yeah, John, what's going on, brother?
Hey man,
it's a me Mario.
Oh,
that's fantastic. That's fantastic, man. Glad you could join us.
Indeed.
So,
I have a guess as to why M390. Just before we stray too far from that topic.
Yeah.
Pre-existing contract. They could have already bought the stock before all the delays with the aluminum happened. So maybe we'll see it switch steels in the future. But it's possible they've already purchased a backlog of steel to do this knife for the foreseeable future. In which case, I mean, isn't the Valet also done in M390?
It certainly is. Yeah, it's not like they're unfamiliar with M390. They do have a couple things that they've had in there, and they've got a small batch of. It's just with them producing Griptilians and 20 CV and a bunch of other things, and again, saying American made rather than Austrian or Swedish or wherever you want to get your bowler stuff from. So
maybe they're not selling as many Valets as they thought they would be, and they've got a bunch of steel they're sitting on.
To announce an entire bug out line on leftover steel from a Valet is a bold move.
Well, I mean,
they haven't been selling Valets that hot for a couple of years. Someone likes that knife, and that's why it's stuck around for as long as it has. But there's no way it should have not have gotten discontinued before a Contigo. But
yeah.
Hey man, the M4s need to come out for the bailouts now.
The what? Sorry, has to come out for a bailout.
The M4 is coming out for the bailouts now instead of the Contigo.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Although it's probably half.
They had a bunch of leftover M4 after they discontinued Contigos, and they're like, "What are we going to do with this?" It's.
I don't want to think about the cost to have all that steel surface ground to the same thickness as the.
Your edge has too many points on it, by the way. But
hey, man, it's got as many points as your bug out's gonna have. Okay?
It's not gonna be my bug out. We're giving that one to someone else.
There we go.
Awful.
Oh, I can't
god
wait.
Awful.
No one knows about that yet, but anyway.
That's okay. That's okay.
Hint on the live stream. We like it. We like to wet the whistles. But that's WH, by the way. Wet.
Wet whistle. Actually, isn't steam whistle a beer?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Wet whistle sounds like a good opportunity.
Bug out, you say?
Yeah. It's still a crazy good knife. Very thin behind the edge, pretty decent stock thickness. It feels good in hand. I mean, we're just rehashing everything else we've pretty much said about it.
I really like, and I don't think there really is a video of it, but I really like the shimmer around the pivot when you twist the knife into the light. And someone will have a video up, I'm sure, but the centerpiece really, really spirals with the light as you're twisting it.
You can see a very small hint of it here, the stream light going in that direction.
And you get the shadows, and it's really, really nice. Yeah, for sure.
Sunburst patterns are just about the best thing you can add to an otherwise boring knife handle. Like, goddamn. That's...
Yeah.
Oh... So awesome.
I'm here for it. Can I talk about one thing that I don't like about this knife?
Is it what I think it is?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
There's one thing about this knife that I would change. And it is the pocket clip.
Dun dun dun. Yeah, they just gave us the little mini clip on this one.
What would you do? You would do a full-size clip on it?
Mm-hmm.
But none of the other Bugouts have that.
No.
And the bailout doesn't have that.
And I should what's the word I'm looking for?
Preface? Yeah.
Preface. I mean, for me, that is the first mod that I would make myself. The Bugouts all should have the Bugout clip, but the more that I play with the Bugout clip, the less that I like it.
Well,
now is that
get
just,
over it.
Fuck. Is that just a preference for longer clips? Or is on this specific knife you don't like how the small clip feels in hand?
Small clips are short levers, so they're tougher to deal with. And as far as like doing one of these to get into your pocket and stuff like that, so you're not ripping up your pants.
I find if you look at my bailout, I find that I actually do have like a gap in between there. But that's because of the extra tension, and it still sits tight enough that I'm not worried about it in my pocket. So, yeah.
And that's what I would have to do to be happy with it, I think.
And it depends on material too. Like it's not a cold steel G10 that I'm trying to slide into my pocket. It's an aluminum handle. So it's not beating me up that much.
It should be pretty gentle, all things considered. Yeah.
Compared to like even an H&K, my mini H&K that I have the mini clip on, it beats my pocket up a little bit because of the G10 onto the Bugout clip as well, right? The combination of the two is definitely a bit of a pant ripper.
I will say ergonomically, short pocket clips, I find it's sort of a case-by-case basis for me whether they're going to be uncomfortable or not. This clip on this knife is perfectly comfortable. I don't really see a need to change it for most.
Yeah, as far as the ergos goes.
Yeah,
I don't think
it's fine.
But
100%.
I have had some short clips where it's like, God damn, I wish this were longer. And I've also had long clips on pocket knives where it's like, this is awesome.
I tried a Bugout clip on my mini barrage, and it because it's a mini and blah 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 type of thing, and it lasted about 3 seconds, and I was like, nope, the ergos are weird on that knife. Take it off and put my traditional clip back on it, right? Like it's
I have a mini Bugout clip, or just a Bugout clip, I guess, on my.
Do they make mini Bugout clips? All the EDC community will go nuts over the even smaller clip.
It's just a paper clip.
It's a wire clip. They call it.
No, but my H&K actually has a mini, like a Bugout clip on it. And in the back pocket, I don't mind it as much because it's nice, secure grip. But I don't know. I just like the spring tension on their standard.
Well, you like a nice secure grip in your back pocket, so
don't you?
Yeah.
I don't know what the options are, but I don't think any of them are good.
Well, that's about as
That's
far
why I just don't go back pocket. I've learned my lesson. There's no right way.
Hey man, the only knife I've ever lost, I lost it in my front pocket.
So statistically.
Let's put it this way. I carry my Anthem in my back pocket.
Yeah.
Wow. He carries a Sabenza in his back pocket. That deserves an episode within itself with what you two fuckers are doing. But,
hashtag on what is it? Risk management? Yeah, it's not good at it, apparently. Yeah.
Just don't let people get behind you.
Yeah. There's something to be said about that. I kind of wish that they would come out with a milled clip for this thing, because they go to the trouble of milling a really sexy handle, and they're not going to give me a clip to match. I don't know. This isn't a cheap knife. I know it's not as expensive as you would normally expect, but
have you seen Benchmade's past history on clips?
I have, actually. And I'd like them to try again, because
try again. Yeah, they need to be taped up halfway down so you can't see half of it. That's the moral of the story, Paul. No,
you gotta circumcise it with a
Okay,
file.
that starts the question, but like, look at the clips throughout history. Not even the milled clips. Benchmade has yet. Like the Bugout is their highlight for goddamn sake. Like
What's the trailing point little guy with the world's worst clip? It's like a barrage, but smaller.
Trailing point from
Not a
Benchmade?
barrage, sorry. It's like a what's that big fucker that I have?
the Bedlam.
Bedlam. It's like the Bedlam, but smaller.
Not little.
Bedlam, but smaller. From Benchmade with a trailing point?
Yes. Well, with that kind of upswept tip.
I'm going to be mad when I don't remember what this knife is. I'm mad. What the
Paul
hell?
is describing it like it's made by Benchmade, but we're gonna find out this knife is made by Schrade the whole fucking time. It's you just wait. It's
You sure it's Benchmade?
fixed blade folder. What are we talking here? Folder?
It gotta be a
Folder,
folder. Yeah. Trailing point Benchmade, smaller than a Bedlam.
Okay, so not trailing point.
Are you talking about the 300 flipper?
No. It's
Okay.
black handle. This is the worst fucking
pre-
video of all time. Well, people watch me have a stroke on camera.
Well, smelling burnt toast. It's good
Yeah.
times. Anyway, while Paul spirals down a rabbit hole of what trailing point Benchmade he's talking about, it's
Anything else
So when
you
you
wish?
type in there's the Benchmade Bedlam.
oh, it was the Bedlam.
No, it's not. It's smaller than a Bedlam. I'm pretty sure you have one, Dennis.
I have one.
Yeah, it's the clip that is like.
Oh,
deep fried all
okay,
the
lum.
Okay, what
The little
term
lum.
The term
Or
you're
not the
looking
little
for,
lum.
sir, is harpoon. Harpoon point is
Shit.
what you're looking for.
What's
Pull it out.
the Bob Lum?
gotta
Is
do
it?
Pull it out. Oh my! On the knife channel, live and everything.
Hey man, pull out your harpoon point, okay?
So this
Okay.
is the
Well, I
blade
gotta-
that Paul was thinking of. Yeah.
That's a harpoon. That's straight up a goddamn harpoon.
I would also accept Bowie blade or
Maybe a
Yeah,
clip.
I remember
Maybe
it
a
being
clip.
more trailing.
I remember it completely different in my mind.
That's definitely a prude.
Yes,
Look
that's
at
the
the
other clip I was talking about. Was
Look at that
horrendous.
clip.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
horrendous.
Monstrosity.
It's like Cold Steel took inspiration when they made the AG10 clip from this son of a bitch right here.
terrible.
Have you seen the 80 clip? Tell me I'm
Yes, I have.
Onslaught.
wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Hi guys, it's the onslaught that I was thinking of.
Yeah,
The
thanks, dude.
Onslaught, yeah.
And mine's the mini,
Yeah.
by the way, because there's a bigger version. Because there needed
there
to be a
really?
bigger version. Yeah,
This is
mine's
the-
a mini.
The version I'm
Is
looking
that
at.
why I was thinking it was a mini Bedlam? Was because I knew it was smaller than a Bedlam, but
A
it was
mini
so-
bedlam.
I mean, effectively. But hey, the full size Lum is a 4.3-inch blade, so it's not a tiny knife. That's bigger than the military. That's bigger than my police. Like that's
It's the sound of the police. It's,
For the record, I'm ashamed. I'm gonna turn in my knife guy card.
I think there's two people on this channel now.
Fuck.
Where's that leave button? Sorry guys.
You know where. it is.
And I knew which clip you were talking about, but as
You just
soon
made
as
me
you said,
sweat forever.
as soon as you said the knife, I was like, oh yeah, that's one of the horrendous ones I had in my mind. But it's not exclusive to the only horrendous one.
So-
They've had many bad clips.
Even though they've had a decent run with some of their not wire clips, sheet metal clips thus far, I still would like to see them take a crack at another 3D milled clip, especially for a handle like this one. I just think it deserves it. But sure,
I bet you if you
you're
go
gonna
to
have to.
mxg.com, you could find a Benchmade compatible
Oh,
because most of the
For
knives
sure.
are all the
believe it.
same hole pattern, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and I just needed to bring up one other one because I just thought of it while we were sitting here talking. But let's take a look at the other
Well-
milled clip that they've got here from past history.
The
Here's
MPR.
the MPR with
Yeah.
a tip down carry and a
Yeah.
milled clip. Oh yeah, that's all its glory.
I'm gonna be honest. The Anthem clip is uglier with its
Oh, for sure it is.
sticky shape.
At least this one fits the motif of ugly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I own one. I love it. Don't get me wrong. Shane, keep doing what you're doing, brother. I love what you do. But
It's not there yet, but this thing's going to be pretty fancy when it's done.
yeah. We'll
Nice and tapered.
But yeah, high success rate on fancy clips for sure. They should keep it up, I think.
Okay, fine, fair enough.
You know, when you're
Pretty awful.
when you're a professional fighter, whether it's MMA, whether it's boxing, whether what it is, if you're 0 for 30, you're an accountant. You're
Hang up the gloves.
go back to teaching math. Sorry, Rich.
What? Just one question. Why does that pocket clip have a fuller?
The same reason it has grip positions.
Maybe it aligns with the knife when you open it because the knife has a fuller. Maybe it aligns.
That would be pretty fancy. They don't show you it open from the back.
I would show you, but I've already put the knife away.
I'm willing to bet it's just slightly off.
It's just candid, just to annoy Nigel.
Oh. No, now I've got an eye twitch.
Oh, it's totally off. It's yeah.
Yeah,
It's
not even parallel. That's unfortunate.
no.
Oh,
For shame.
Joe, 1 in 99.
What's that?
Glass Joe was well, when your nickname's Glass.
Hey, I got that reference. Yeah. Are there any real major complaints about this knife? I mean, probably not from Dennis, seeing as he's gonna buy it. But
it's the Bugout I've been waiting for, and I've been saying for a while that I like the Bugout platform. I just haven't found one right for me. And there's been close versions, but yeah, this is the one that actually belongs to sit in the EDC tray with everything else. So
Black Frost in chat has a complaint.
okay.
He's complaining that it's fluted.
Well, okay, so
what
here's the thing.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah,
My good man.
Wrong.
Who said fluting?
Black
No one
Frost.
said fluting.
That's true. It's milled, it's not fluted.
Detail laden is what it is. It's all sorts of details that are laden into this handle.
Laden details.
So why? Okay. Is it just a visual thing you don't like about it, or is it you don't want crap and gunk getting caught? Because those the grooves, not the fluting, the grooves are pretty easily cleaned out. Like even with your thumb, you could probably push out whatever happens to get stuck in there.
What is Joe doing with this knife that he's cleaning out?
There's
Look,
mud.
dude, he's just gotta push it out, okay?
Oh no.
Hashtag knife.
No.
A bunch of flutists.
My poop knife is my cane sword, so I can be as far away from that as possible.
Justin, you get comment of the evening for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
A
bunch of flutists.
That's awful. Thank you.
I mean, we are a bunch of flutists, let's be honest.
Yeah. I'm biased towards the floating of the fluting.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely. Is that better?
You can't just flaunt the fluting. I mean,
I want bad things to happen to you and only you.
Well,
and by that I mean both of you.
Well, thanks. Thanks
for your
support.
General statement into the universe.
Whatever you do, please make it hurt.
I'm gonna feel real bad if something bad happens. Don't go snowboarding, Dennis.
No, I think the season's over anyway, but yeah, being that it's September.
I take it back before snowboarding season.
Yeah. Now, I want to know what division of the Japanese military this particular sunburst pattern is. Because there's a complete unrelated side note. The Japanese flag with all the striping is actually a military thing. And the one with the sun in the middle is one thing. The one with the sun in the right is the one thing. And the one with the sun on the left is another thing. So
this is definitely sun on the left.
If you're right-handed or left-handed?
No, because Benchmade's right-handed.
No, because you can turn it left and right, and it'll put the starburst on the other side.
This is
okay. So your Navy and Marines, Navy and Air Force. I
Navy.
think maybe
Air Force.
Navy and Air
Navy.
Force. I think
Air
and
Force.
Army is
Navy.
in the middle.
Air
think.
Force.
I could
Navy.
be completely wrong, but I'm guessing Justin is probably Googling it, if
the
not
Naval
already
Air
knows
Force?
the full answer anyway. So
Naval Air Force.
Yes. Why not?
That's where they land on boats, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Quite.
I give this thing 9 popcorn bags out of a possible 12.
9. That's it.
Why is it missing 3 popcorn bags?
You know why.
Is it the gray?
No, maybe tell our audience why.
It's an arbitrary rate. I don't know what to tell you.
I made it up on the fly.
If I had
price
to,
point's the only thing I can think of that you can actually bitch about this knife.
If I was gonna bitch, yeah. Keep in mind it is fairly. It makes sense in Benchmade's price points. Like, what does the 940 go for with its aluminum scales and S30V blade? Like 30, 40 polar bear dollars cheaper than this thing. And this gives you M390 DLC. Well, no, sorry, not DLC.
Middle is Army, offset is Navy.
Is there no Air Force? Did I just make that one up? I could have.
I guess it makes sense too, because depending on what side you're looking at the flag from, it could be in either direction, right? So
it appears that Justin's a bit insulted that you had to insinuated that he had to look it up because he already knows the answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Justin.
Oh,
That's
I'm
amazing.
sure he did.
The rest of Asia doesn't really like it when Japan uses it. Yeah, no shit.
That's why Japan does things, is to just subtly slap people in the face. Not to your face. They'll bow. They'll just bow to your face. But
you don't believe me? Read a history book.
Well,
Anyway.
only if you're carrying a swayback. Then you can have the reach around.
I don't like a thing about that.
Is it traditional enough you could carry it in Japan? Probably not.
Probably not, sadly.
It's
my trapper?
It locks, so it's a non-starter.
It's a lock. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Joe, make it go to Japan.
9 out of 12 popcorn bags is good and fine. I understand where you're coming from. But I'm pretty sure that this deserves probably 13 out of 14 Kiwi birds, if it was me. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, you're taking one home, so it better take that many.
I got to go to another hemisphere for that shit, okay? That's how much I like it.
You're right.
I was going to give it 4.5 out of 5 spruce mooses.
Ooh, that's spicy.
None of these pine mooses. Get out of here with your pine moose, okay?
No, spruce moose.
We're talking spruce. And like not one of these old spruces, one of the young up-and-comer spruces. I think it's actually a moose. But anyway, I talked about trees for a couple minutes. Anyway, everything about this knife is pretty much, like I said, the Bugout I've been waiting for. And I think this one's going to knock it out of the park. I'm curious about the anodizing and the up and down, knowing the history of Benchmade's anodizing. So
I really hope that somebody else got my reference there to the spruce moose. But
not in this chat.
I'm sad. It was a Simpsons reference.
I see.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I didn't mean
it's the airplane. It's the airplane.
It is exactly the airplane. The tiny little wooden one that he tries to get Smithers to get into.
Apparently, I got to go back and rewatch some Simpsons episodes because that alone sounds pretty great.
Yeah, it's before season 9. It's still worth watching.
Fair enough.
Cool. Yeah, I wish they could get a better red. Copy ZT's red. Stop doing fuchsia.
I was gonna say it's kind of cherry, isn't it?
Well, I mean, same as like it's kind of okay. It's kind of okay, but it's no ZT 450.
No, where is my 450? It's ways away.
It's farther away than your Trailmaster.
Yes. Fine. The Trail Master is at hand in case bears.
In case of bears. It's true. You're like Marshall from How I Met Your Mother, just like, not like this.
I wanted to quickly find a photo of the spacers, and I'm not finding a photo of the spacers. There we go. Right
So,
there.
a funny thing about that is they've changed their spacers on the 450. I don't know.
Don't worry about it. They're closer to what Benchmades look like now?
No, they're painted now.
Will they scrape off?
Really? Because, well, I guess I bought mine a while ago. Green
Yours
aluminum.
has been definitely a little bit older, for sure.
Yeah. I love this thing.
No,
I need to carry it more.
there is a luster that, you can't even see that.
Oh,
what about now?
Yeah, if you tilt it upwards like that, yeah.
There you
go. There's a luster to them that they don't have anymore.
I see.
Yeah. There's that little je ne sais quoi of properly
the luster.
Done
it reminds you of times of yore. Is that what it is? Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yore.
Yes. This is an awesome little knife, by the way.
I was just saying, I love this thing. I need to carry it more. Yeah.
The Bugout's nicer. Oh, wait, for the same amount of money.
I'll take a titanium frame lock, thank you.
The Bugout is going to be a better cutter.
Oh, yeah, 1,000%. This thing is way too thick behind the edge. But that's okay.
Yeah. How's your lock rock? It's
non-existent, thank you.
None.
All right.
No, not on this one.
Okay.
This one specifically. Yeah.
This might be the smoothest flipper in my collection, too.
Fair enough. Yeah, the ZT's like my 609. Nothing to complain about as far as flippers, but that's because it's probably one of the only flippers I carry, so that's got to speak for something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's no 707.
I was gonna say it's two of them.
Sure,
you got two flippers that are ZTs, don't you?
I got an 804 that I carry too. Never mind.
Yeah.
You sure do. I was just gonna say, in case you forgot.
ZT does a good flipper.
80.
Yeah.
Well, they just need to ramp a detent.
They also need to stop discontinuing their best models.
That would also be nice, because I would like an 804, please.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You're going to get a 990 instead.
I might. I'll have to see it.
That's the wrong answer.
That's the new one, right? The 990?
Yeah. The right answer is, if you've got the inclination, you should buy the aluminum Bugout. It's a nice knife.
Yes. Thank you for bringing us back on topic.
The flouting is fantastic. Black Frost doesn't know what he's talking about. No, it's fine to have preferences, just as long as they align perfectly with my own.
We're talking about our preferences now?
Yeah, apparently.
Well, okay, so maybe we'll dabble on the fact that the 58 to 61 Rockwell needs to be touched up a little bit for 60 to 62 on an M390, and might make me a little happier. You can push 62. You can push it. Go ahead, push it a little bit. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
I may or may not
59 to 60 or 59. 59 to 61 would be more acceptable than a 4-number fucking gap.
Well, 58 to 61. But
so there's 4, 58, 59, 60, 61.
Despite my best attempts,
59 points, 60.9.
This is just a little bit of anecdotal evidence. I'm not trying to shamelessly self-plug too hard here, but my friction folders that I make in 20 CV, I harden them. I aim for 61. And this is well within the 62 to 60 range. I have not been able to get this to chip, trying to make it chip, whacking it into mild steel and then twisting it out. I have not been able to get this to chip. Benchmade should be fully capable of hitting that target and making knives that
How many knives are you making at a time compared to how many knives is Benchmade making at a time?
They have much better furnaces than I do. I am fully confident in their ability to properly heat treat a knife. Look at what they're doing with Look at what they're doing with M4.
So the Valet is 60 to 62 for the record.
Okay.
M390.
Okay.
Like I said, push it a little bit, boys.
Yeah.
Like, do it.
Yeah,
Just do it. Just do it. I don't care because mine will be S90. I don't even know what the S90 is now on it, but yeah.
I don't know either. Yeah.
45.
It's a shovel.
After all that, I'd be pretty heartbroken.
But what I'm saying is, if you're doing the valet, and the valet is a thicker behind the edge.
Yes.
Because it's kind of wedgy like an Osborne type of thing, right? So
I like and dislike that in smaller, more narrow knives, to be honest. Like, I like having a wedgier blade for this guy, because I could rough house it with him a little bit better. I can split things apart a little bit better, but the Bugout blade is just so slicey by comparison.
I want to derail this to promote Joe for a quick second. Dick Richards in chat would like to know where he can buy one of your blades.
Oh, well, we can chat after this. I guess hit me up on Instagram at the Iron Joe, _Iron_Joe. Yeah, usually I post stuff for sale there. It actually might be a little bit before I have stuff available, but we can chat about that later if you like.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail, but you know.
That's all right. Have you thrown your knife on a sidewalk yet?
Actually, near miss. The other day, I was cutting apart some hose, some steel-lined hose, actually, and it got caught up in the binding for the hose, and it slipped out of my grip and nearly fell on the concrete in my backyard. Didn't. Hit the grass instead, but it was very close. Very close.
I have found that concrete sidewalk something is definitely the make or break on a heat treatment on a steel. Whether it'll blow something. Super Freaks hit it. Contigo's hit it. Like, there's been some things. Your Essential. I'm
going to say my Essential did not like it.
Yeah, but that might have been overly hard kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I think they run those at like 61, 62.
Yeah, I've had some knives that definitely have hit the test on, and I've hit flat spots on both my Contigo and my Super Freak from hitting sidewalk or whatever. I don't throw my knives. You throw my knives.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Shit. All right.
I've thrown this. It won't get thrown again, but I have thrown this.
Yeah.
Are you... At one point, were you thinking about stripping off the handle and making something new for it?
No.
Okay, I don't know who I was talking to who was thinking about that.
There's been...
You were talking to me, but I think...
Oh, yeah, it might have been your Trailmaster.
If I get a 3B Trailmaster, I might put an antler handle on this guy.
Yeah, okay, that's not the wrong thing. For a second, I was like, are you about to say that you would do that to the 3V? Like, just completely defeats the purpose of it.
No,
if it's done properly, you should be able to chop pretty good with antler. The pith on the inside should hold you in place pretty good.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking scales for some reason, but with a tang as small or as narrow as it is, you probably do want it to be...
you'd be
it's a hidden tang.
Hidden tang.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Straighten and press type of, with a piece of antler. Yeah, so...
I should
not saying it's the perfect choice. You pin it with micarta or something with the lanyard hole, and you might be better. Yeah, your blade's made of 01, eh?
Oh no, I was gonna say I thought it was rust. It's not rust. It's just wood from the baton.
Bark. Yeah.
So it just needs to be cleaned. That's awesome.
It's hard to scrape that shit off sometimes. It's
Oh, I haven't even tried.
Gets in there.
Yeah. You have to use like some sort of like another piece of wood or silicone so you don't scratch up the blade, right? Like it's pick at it with your fingernail for long enough until it comes off because it bugs you. So
I've got wood.
Another piece of wood. Yeah. So anyway, I think that pretty much sums us up. I love this goddamn thing. I think it's fantastic. I don't think they should have coated the blades. I think that's the wrong choice too.
So it's M390. It doesn't really need stain protection. Aesthetically, this reminds me of Gerber stuff for some reason.
Okay, so this segues into a topic that I was just going to bitch about more than anything else, is about how the new Flytanium scales just looked like that new Gerber knife that came out with an access lock.
What's the name of that knife, by the way?
I'm just looking it up right now. I had it at one point in time, but
I just want to say right quick, you were right, Dennis. This wood on the side of his knife is working fantastic.
Yeah, well, I know things.
I should probably stop doing this while we're recording, but
Probably, yeah. They've got it in. They've got it in their Gerber customizer, whatever it is. Gerber has a customizer. Why have we not talked about that? Jesus Christ.
So as far as I'm aware, is their customizer not just like laser etched images or like DLC images?
The knife is called the Sedulo.
Why does that fastball look like a fucking dividend?
How do you spell Sedulo? S-E-D?
S-E-D, S-E-D-U-L-O.
When are you buying your Gerber machete there, Joe?
Never, thank you very much.
I thought you were going to buy that Gerber Bally machete.
The Bally? I don't know. Oh, the weird fold-up thing. Yeah.
No, he wrote you off before it even clicked what that knife was that you were talking. I don't know. Paul's talking again.
Sorry, Paul. I don't know. That's not something I'm going to order over the border, certainly, because it'll probably get seized. But if it's here in Canada and if it's a decent deal, I'll buy it from the novelty. Fuck yeah. That thing's stupid. I'll take it out on a camping trip and break it in an afternoon, but who knows?
And Dick Richards is just talking about different styles of Bowies, what we prefer. Texas Clip, you don't see as much. The Eldorado style, I really like a Michigan style Bowie. And I think we're all big fans of toothpicks because you motherfuckers are Italian. So,
yeah.
Just as a quick side note. But we all like toothpicks, I think. Yeah.
So Texas toothpick. Is this kind of what you mean? That really harsh crescent-shaped clip with a relatively straight blade with very little belly towards the tip? Because that's cool as hell. Absolutely.
It's kind of truer to like a Jim Bowie style more than anything else type of, I believe.
That we know of.
What would you call
Jim Bowie. That we know of, yes.
Yeah. Sorry, Paul, what was that?
What would you call it? The clip on a Natchez?
It's like more like the Eldorado type of style, close to a Texas style, for sure. Yeah.
Misspelled Bowie there. Yeah. Pretty long clip on that thing. Good for sticking.
I like, for sure.
I don't know. If I had to choose like my favorite Bowie tip.
All I want to make sure that it's sharp. I want a sharpened switch.
Yeah. I mean, out of my collection, I think I actually really like the Recon Scout. I dig it.
Which I don't exactly know.
Which is it's basically the Trailmaster just shunked.
Yeah, I just don't know the style of blade that they would call that particular one.
Very close second place, honestly.
Bowies, I'm into it. Saxons, into it.
The Hudson Bay Bowie with a very minimal, like the spine sweeps up very slightly and then it curves down, sort of a reverse Tonto almost. I don't know if this is necessarily traditional. I don't even know if there's a proper name for this, but I like it. Super.
Hudson Bay.
No, Paul. Yeah, I know what the knife's called. Is that
that? It was in the Hudson Bay catalog back in the 1700s, was it not?
Yeah, but that
18s, but anyway.
The specific style of clip, that geometry, I don't know if it has a particular name or not, but butcher clip, maybe? I don't know. I like it. It's fun.
It's a big old choppy boy.
It sure is a big old choppy boy. Not as great for stabbing, but you know.
Yeah. Hey, sidetracked. All about the sidetrack.
Yeah. About that Gerber that this knife kind of reminds me of. It's not quite the right color, but it did come to mind when we were talking earlier.
Well, they've got blues and what they look like is grays. They also have as well.
What color?
I'm trying to zoom kind of a crappy picture on Gerber's own website. Thanks, Gerber. I mean, they're actually kind of upsettingly similar.
Wow. As soon as this knife, go ahead, Paul.
Sorry. I was just gonna say is if they, no, I've lost it now. It's gone.
All right. What I was gonna say is when this knife first came out, I said Gerber made a Bugout. right off the bat. I said Gerber made a bug out. I said it 2 months ago, I think, when we were talking about it on the live stream. And now that Flytanium is trying to make a Gerber bug out, it's good times. It's good times.
Well, the color, for me, it's more the color matching that's just like, okay, that's a little too close.
Okay, so here's the thing, though. I believe the gray and the black one were original colors. I think the blue was an afterthought.
Fair enough, because the first one I was exposed to, I think, was through the Shabazz review. A super interesting job what they did with the pivot on this thing, by the way. They've got like a spacer wedged in the blade instead of washers. It's weird. But this was the first one I had seen. I didn't realize that the gray was the original.
Or the black, I think it's maybe the very first one that they came out with. But being that Bugouts had CF Elite blacked out versions, that also doesn't surprise me. But
yeah. What do they use it on this thing? They don't even say. That's cool. It's cool.
So if you're willing to pay too much money for a Benchmade, you should buy an aluminum Bugout. You'll probably be happy with it. Hopefully you get one of the 6061s on the Rockwell. That's
a slight gamble, but you know.
So, yeah.
You would figure they would know better by now to put that kind of range.
Well,
when that kind of range comes up, people get...
Maybe they are scared of the thinness that a Bugout has compared to the stock thickness that a Valet has.
That is something to consider as well. I know when you're doing vacuum hardening that the process is a bit different than just sticking it in a kiln and whatever else, but that could be something to think about. But that being said, Spyderco is really consistent with their heat treat, and they've done a lot of hollow ground blades that are just like, the performance seems to be bang on, not too many complaints online about things like the smock not behaving the way it should at the Rockwell that it's been tested at, yada yada. So I don't know. It could also be that they've been rushed, because this knife has been delayed.
So what you're saying is that people know how to heat treat S30, is what you're saying.
M390 is not new to the table, my friend.
No, it's not either.
But yes, people do know how to heat treat S30. Speaking of dropping knives on concrete, I dropped that in my garage the other day.
He was like, the friction folder didn't get through that tubing. Let's see what a smock can do.
Oh, no. This was.
He's just got a pile of knives around the sidewalk as he's trying to cut through this tubing. All right. Well, that one hit the ground. Let's pull out the sixth knife that I have in my pocket.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, dinged the hell out of the edge. Fixed it up relatively quickly because it's S30. It didn't take a lot of effort. Very happy I didn't blow out any major chips. But as far as a knife to test the fragility of S30, yeah, I think a hollow ground smock is not the worst option. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm fully confident that Benchmade could do a tighter range on their Rockwell. But I think it might be a question of timing, trying to get stuff out, because they already delayed this knife twice. Was it 3 times?
No, just once.
I could have sworn
they said from here to here.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so just the one delay.
And they delivered on here, so...
Okay, fair enough.
Well, maybe that's why they are 58 to 61, though. It's because they delivered on here, and they couldn't reheat treat the ones that didn't quite hit the mark that they wanted.
I think if you look back on specs, and it's impossible to go back in time, but I bet you if you look back on specs on coming soon, the Rockwell probably has never changed.
Somebody could go back through whatever old videos.
And actually look at
maybe
Benchmade's listing. I'm sure we've probably showed it. Yeah.
I wonder if the Wayback Machine captures Benchmade's website, because that would be interesting.
The hell is the Wayback Machine?
I believe that's the name for it, but it's a website that catalogs cached versions of websites throughout periods in time, so you can go back to see what a website looked like 3 months ago, 2 months ago, that kind of thing. Some websites to like in the 90s. So yeah, it's interesting. Again,
I thought you were just being sarcastic with the Wayback Machine.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's the long time ago, you know.
It's not my cheeky naming convention. It's whoever owns that website.
They are cheeky though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, I think we're pretty much rounded out on tonight.
I think so.
We kept it to the minimum. I did talk about the goddamn Gerber and the Flytanium, because that was my other side topic that I kind of wanted to dabble on was, imagine that. And then when an aluminum Bugout comes out, all of a sudden you can't get all the aftermarket handles for a Bugout seem to be sold out as well. Goes hand in hand.
I didn't comment about Bark River knives more than once tonight.
Hey man, we'll talk about that after recording's done, okay? It'll probably be an episode about bushcraft knives because I think we're getting towards the end of the season, so that might not be a bad conversation to have. I might have a pile or a stack or a whatever drink right now kind of thing going on behind me with all sorts of bushcrafty stuff. So
let me place my order first, and then we'll talk about them, so that when people go to order them, I've already got mine.
Paul, what have I told you about telling me what to do?
Do it at all opportunity.
Yes, yeah, with extra high success rate for sure.
10,000%, yes. Because it's worked so many times in the past.
Hey man.
Hey, if you're a boxer with a 0 to 30 record, I've been doing this for 30 years.
It's like, oh my God. Please stop.
I've been doing this for 30 years.
How much do you hate yourself? My God.
Once a year, I just get in the ring, get the shit kicked out of myself.
Keeps me in my place, you know?
Keeps me in check. Reminds me of my place.
Yeah, I'm not
every September 5th. We'll see you again next September.
No way I'm remembering that a year from now.
Oh, how hilarious would that be if we just didn't have a video until next September?
That's a long ways for a bad joke.
Yeah.
Just so our record can be 0 for 34, really? Like it's
Hey man.
I don't know where we lost 3 more fights out of there to get from 30 to 34, but
we'll lose them.
Sparring. We got our asses kicked.
No, they put it on our record. We didn't even realize it.
Wait,
we didn't argue it either. We're just like, yeah, we probably deserve that. Yeah.
Probably
should.
Yeah.
There are things actually being posted on Instagram on the Pokey Factor, so you should go over there and follow us. There is a good chance that I'm going to stonewash this thing. It very well might end up in video on the internets.
We were talking about a Instagram giveaway. Has there been anything on any sort of like viewership?
Lost 20 followers.
What's that?
Said we've lost 20 followers.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I'm glad that we're
again, and people are like, "No, fuck this, we're out."
Wait, these guys? Oh, these guys annoy the shit out of me. I'm out of here.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Most of them were Damascus guys that we just troll. But anyway, it's
there are a lot.
I just want to point out to everybody on the internet, the easiest way to deal with those guys when they follow you is you go to the follow back button on their page and you hit follow back. And then you immediately hit the button again and you hit unfollow, and it gives you the option to have them unfollow you, and you just you unfollow them and you unfollow you from them, like back and forth, and you never have to worry about them again. It's fantastic until tomorrow when they add you again.
Have that picture of what Once Upon a Time in Philadelphia trying to explain things that we can just put up right now with him?
Hey man,
and if you see on the map of New York, it makes a smiley face. It's
All I'm thinking is Charlie in It's Always Sunny.
That's what I mean. That's exactly the reference I'm talking about. All right. On that note, also Patreon, thanks to the guys that are subscribing to us. There is going to be a thank you here. Might be a holiday thank you the way we're going, because but there will be a thank you for subscribing, participating. The money does go into the channel, but it will be a thank you back to all the guys that are participating for sure. So it's not lost.
And it's probably going to have a Tonto tip.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
No, come on, man.
I haven't contacted Tom Veff yet, so we'll see what happens.
How much do we hate our viewers?
Anyway. On that note, signing off. I am who I am. I'm Dennis Vipers.
I am the Iron Joe.
And I'm XL. That's it.
Thanks again for joining us, guys. You have a good night.
I never said it was gonna be Tonto. I said it might be Tonto.
Oh no, I'm trying to force the issue.
Don't
I'm
force
trying to make
Tontos.
promises from you.
Don't force Tontos.
Friends don't force the Tontos on their other friends.
Hey man, I'm just saying. I'm just saying is all.
We Knife Thug. Hashtag We Knife Thug.